Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the previous video, we learned Linux basics like navigating through directories, creating files and folders, understanding the Linux terminal, and using some of the most important Linux commands. My goal in this channel is simple. Like whenever you learn a new topic, you shouldn't just memorize it. Instead, you should actually understand it. So that's why in today's video we are not going to learn Linux permissions topic like from documentation or complicated definition. Instead, we will understand them using everyday examples, visual explanations and practical demos that anyone can follow. Like through this documentation you can see that you will get overwhelmed by seeing these types of different complex topics you can't understand by just reading it. So I will cover it through visual explanations in easy way so that you can understand it and practically use it in your PC. So by end of this video, you will be able to look at Linux permissions and confidently explain what they mean even if you are learning Linux for the very first time. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Now, before learning commands, let's first understand why Linux even has permissions. So let's explain this or understand this with something we all use every day. Imagine you have a notebook. You may allow your friend to read your notes, but would you allow them to erase everything you have written? Probably not, right? Now think about your phone. Anyone can hold your phone, but can everyone unlock it or can everyone install apps or delete your photos? No. So only the owner has full control, right? So same way Linux works exactly. Like every file and every folder has some set of rules. And these rules decide who can view it, who can modify it, and who can execute it. And these rules are called permissions. Now, with technical example, I will explain you. Like imagine you are working in a software company. Your whole team is working on same Linux server. Like one developer is writing the code, another person is deploying the application, and someone else is managing the database. Now imagine if everyone had permission to modify or delete every file on that server, like on one accidental click or one wrong command and an important project files get deleted. So if someone accidentally changes a configuration file, that entire application depends on that server only, then the whole application could stop working, right? And it would become a complete mess. That's exactly why Linux has permissions. Like permissions make sure that every user gets only the access they actually need. So permissions make sure that every user gets only the access they actually need. Like this keeps the system secure, organized and prevent accidental mistakes. And this isn't just used in companies, like it's used everywhere in cloud servers, web applications and Docker containers, even on your own laptop. So once you understand permissions, you will understand one of the most important concepts in Linux. Now let's see everything practically and see my computer here. So first let's open the terminal. So type WSL and open it. First let's create a folder. Type make directory and folder named as permissions demo. Now I have verified whether it was created or not. So I have write the command as ls list. So perfect, you can see that the permission demo folder in the output. Now let's move inside this folder. Write command as cd permissions demo. Here cd stands for change directly. So it allows us to move from one folder to another. Now let's make sure we are inside the correct folder or not. So for that we will write pwd command. So yeah, you can notice the output. It now shows the complete path ending with permissions demo. That means we are inside the folder we just created right now. Now let's create our first file. So write command as touchnotes.txt. Okay, so this touch command, you can see here, it creates an empty file inside this folder only, permissions demo. Okay, now let's check whether the file exists or not. So let's type ls, then you can see that great, our notes.txt file has been created successfully. Now comes the interesting part, that instead of using a normal ls, let's use ls-l. So this L option, dash L option, means long listing format. You can see here, instead of showing just only file names as notes.txt, Linux now gives us much more information. Like look it carefully at the first column, this one, this one. At first glance it looks confusing, right? Like there are lots of letters and symbols, but don't worry, by end of this video you will be able to understand exactly what this means. Like the first very character is dash, right? Dash means this is a regular file, but how do we know what a folder looks like? So let's create one. Like write command as make directory demo folder. Now run the same command again, that ls-l. Notice something interesting. Our folder starts with, like you can see here, our folder starts with D later while our file just starts with dash. So now we have learned our first rule. A dash means it's normal file and D means it's a directory or folder. Okay. So ignore the first dash for now. Look only at these letters like RW dash, R double dash, and again R double dash. Like Linux divides permissions into three groups. I'll explain you through images. Like first group belongs to the owner, okay, and the second group, that is R double dash, this belongs to group, and third group belongs to others. Think about it like this. Imagine you are working in a company, you create a project, and you are the owner, your teammates become the group, and everyone else in the company comes under others. So Linux follow this exact same concept. Now let's understand these letters. Like the first letter is R, and here R stands for read. Like read simply means you can open the file and see what's inside. Second letter is W. W stands for write, and it means you can modify the file, you can add content, you can delete content, and you can edit it. The third letter is X. Like X stands for execute. It means Linux allows you to run the file as a program or a script. Now look at our file again. Like the command started with rw dash. So the owner has read and write permission. But notice something. There is no X. That means the owner cannot execute this file. Similarly, r dash dash, the group can only read the file, they cannot modify it or they cannot execute it. And the last r dash dash means everyone else can also read the file. So just by looking at one line, we have understood who can read the file, who can edit it, and who can execute it. That's the power of Linux permissions. So congratulations, you have just learned how to read Linux file permissions. In the next video, we will learn how to change these permissions using the chmod, chattribute, chown, and chgroup commands, and will understand what happens if we add or remove the access. So make sure you practice these commands on your own, whatever I write in the terminal. So Linux is not just since Linux is not just learned by watching videos, you should practice it on your PC too. And it is learned by like typing commands and experimenting it with by own. So thank you very much for watching my video. I'll see you in the next video. Keep watching and keep exploring. Thank you.